welcome to another episode of Radio with Pictures in the Field for 2017 from our Central Divisional Consultations. In earlier episodes, we were hearing from women in Navua, Nausori, and in Asinu, talking about their development priorities and what it means in the context of disaster risk reduction. And in this episode, we're going to be hearing from women from the Central Business District of Suva. And I'm joined today by Chandra Fisi'ahi, who is 21, and she's a member of the Emerging Leaders Forum Alumni. Morning, Chandra. As well as Mereani Nawadra, who is from the Communications and Overseas Department of the Methodist Church in Fiji, as well as Akesa Lewamotu Qeteqetelevu. Yes. And Akesa is representing the Suva United Market Vendors Association. And finally, we're also joined by Mrs. Yavala, who is from the Soqosoqo Vakamarama. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We've got a very good, diverse representation of women here at this table. So we're talking about development, but we're also talking about development in the context of post-TC Winston, and what does it look like when it comes to disaster risk response procedures. But firstly, when we're talking about development and resilience, Chandra, I'd like to come to you first, because day one of the consultation, you brought your young daughter with you. So for you as a young mom, what does development mean for you?
It will mean a safe environment, better access to better facilities.
Thank you, Chandra. And for you, Mereani, what does development mean to you?
For me, development means growth in something. To see something to actually come out with what was been planned for it. So for the church, we are going through the new Exodus, or the Lakwayani Bowl. This is now the church is more looking into the means of including more ministerial women, even to be ministers, especially in deaconesses. So yeah, with that in the church, it's the development's quite good for it. More women are being interested, and it's also encouraging other women to also participate in also decision making. So I would say that's development for me, seeing something grow.
Thank you. So we're hearing from the two younger women at the table, because we're all young at this table, right? We're hearing that development is about inclusive development, it's about access to services. For you, Akesa, as a market vendor, what does development mean?
Thank you. Development means for me to better facilities, safe and secure working environment. Like for us in the market, we don't have enough facilities even for ladies. So if the council can look into that in their budget and maybe more facilities for ourselves.
When you're talking about facilities, what kind of facilities do you mean?
Restaurant facilities. Because the one we have now, we just have two on the top floor of the locker. And the one outside, that's a public room. Not for us. We have to pay that. And this room, when you want to visit the ladies' room, you want to spend 50 cents. So if you go there 3 or 4 times a day, the business goes, you might as well just spend half of your sales a day.
Half of your sales.
Yeah.
Thank you, Akesa. And Mrs. Yavala, what does development mean for you, coming from the Soqosoqo Vakamarama, and what are you hearing from the women that you represent?
Development to me is increase women's participations in local governments and district participation in leadership of women in all levels of leadership.
Because the Soqosoqo Vakamarama is the largest women's organization.
And as well as document for women on the rural area, not used to documenting their issues and their work of daily events or whatever goes around within their organization. It's like a hearsay, and that's all. We teaching them, and as well as women in the urban areas, to be able to document their their work
Activities.
and the outcomes and activities of the organization.
So really, so you can have that wealth of knowledge captured for development purposes. So if I'm hearing it right across the table, development for us is about how we can access government and governance services, also looking at what the women are doing in their communities to work towards development and creating a secure, safe environment. Thank you. So following on from what we're talking about, I'd like to look at when it comes to how do we improve the representation and participation of women in local governments. So when it comes to budgeting, for example, what would you like to see included in the national budget? Because the national budget is going to be announced in the middle of the year. Is there something that you want to see prioritized more so? Chandra, for you?
Prioritizing the inclusiveness of young women from all diversities to be part of the local government, from young women to trans women, so that there's better understanding when they are making their development plans.
So when you say better understanding, Mereani, you're nodding, you agree with that. So better understanding in terms of?
Better understanding in terms of young women's needs, trans women's needs.
Because our needs are not the same, they're
Same,
different. Mereani, what would you like?
To be inclusive, right? Speaking from the church perspective, we are now developing our churches to be more accessible to those to people with disabilities. It's something that we did not see before, I think. But now, I think to add on to what Chandra just said, people with disabilities also have special needs, and I think they should be They should be a priority too. People tend to forget about them then, or not actually forget, but tend to see them as the last person to go to, or last person to help out when it's them who need the help first. So, to be more inclusive. Yeah.
For Akesa, as a market vendor, in terms of accessing facilities, what would you like to see prioritized in the national budget?
If they can put more funding to I know that they put 25.1 million to the local government budget allocation, and if they can, if you go in the market, there is no space for disabilities there. So when they're thinking of building a new market, if they can also put access for people with disabilities, and if they can, because we all know that disabilities can do anything. People can they can have a store and sell there, whatever they have with their handicap. So they can just put a space for them there. Let them, just like Annie said, I think they will be inclusive.
Mrs. Yavala, when it comes to inclusive development, you are part of the Soqosoqo Vakamarama in Kandavu. So what does inclusive development look like for members in Kandavu? It's not in Suva. So
to encourage women to be able to participate in the levels of decision making within village levels and district levels, and be able to come out of their shells. So that we'll be, at the moment, we're trying to identify women with merits, and women will be able to participate, to represent women in all levels of decisions, like in the Mbosiva Koro, which is already inclusive. It includes the Soqosoqo Vakamarama and women. In the Tikina level, in the council level, we at the moment we have representatives in council, but limited. At most, about 35 members is only 3 women, 2 representing the nominees of the Prime Minister, and 1 representing the Soqosoqo Vakamarama. Try to encourage them to participate, to be able to bring forward, because women have potentials, but they're not encouraged and not used, so that we'll be able to move our country forward. To also make them understand wherever they participate or whatever they do within their own environment, local or space, it is also contributing to the nation as a whole.
I'd like to pick up on what you've just said there in terms of encouraging women to participate. We were hearing from the women in our story that they also want to see more women participating in local governance, for example, through advisory councillor positions, also through the Mereani Nawadra positions as well. But they also identified a particular barrier, which is resourcing, financing and resourcing women's participation in that regard. Is that something that you think should be improved in the national budget?
I strongly believe that it should be looked into and improved on it, so that we'll be able to, as our nation, as one of our policies is to have 70% participation. That's impossible because resources are limited for women around the nation.
And also picking up on that, we've got young women at the table, younger women at the table, and you've had this commitment to a 30% representation of women. And in earlier discussions this week with Mrs. Evening, that 30% representation has been here for a very long time, and we still haven't, seen it. We haven't realized it. So maybe coming across to you, Chandra. So looking at the national gender policy is there, government's passed it. There is a commitment to having women. It's on paper, but it's not being implemented. What needs to change in terms of budgeting or resources to improve implementation of the national gender policy? Education? Training?
Capacity building.
Mereani?
Thank you. I think government need to prioritize ways of information communication. This is something that women can actually grab hold on to, and is also vital for them. Yes, it is being put on paper, 30% of representation of women in parliament, but we do not see it. Why is this? Maybe because other women out there are not actually seeing what is actually happening. So I think government should prioritize Ministry of Communication, just to get the news out there, not only advertising on radio, but actually going around to certain divisions or towns or to little villages, just letting them know that this is happening. Information is very vital to us young women, but for the older ladies, as for, say, example, for the Soqosoqo Vakamarama, they may be hearing from their own meetings, but I don't know if the government actually go out and see them in action, or doing what they're supposed to be doing in order to let them know, or give them a better understanding of how women are actually supposed to get there. So, for government to prioritize something like that for communication, just to let them know about what is going on and what needs to be done.
Do you agree with that, Chandra? Yeah.
Public awareness.
Public awareness, because I know that your husband is a communications officer. So would you kind of imagine him going and meeting women leaders in women's groups? Or is that something is that a really practical way of improving capacity building and education for women?
He is doing that at the moment.
He does that?
He's doing that at the moment.
Yeah.
Right now as we speak.
Funny, just coming across to Akesa before we wrap up the discussion today, when it comes to information and communication, what do you need at the market to be able to contribute to development as a woman leader?
We need capacity building and more workshops to educate our vendors, because if anything comes up, they don't know what is going on, and the same thing always what am I going to benefit from that if I can attend a workshop? I'm going to pay me. We always tell them, we need to be educated so that we can know what we're doing, where we're going, if anything happens. So information, like you said, I agree with that.
Consultations as well. Okay, so finally, last question for today. If you wanted one thing to be in the National Development Plan, or your recommendation for the National Development Plan, what would it be in terms of having inclusive participation of women of all diversities, young women, women with disabilities, trans women, market vendors, Italke women? What is your recommendation to improve that participation in local government and local governance? Mrs. Yavala?
I reckon is to policy to strengthen what is already there, like the 30-70% participation. Something that can be implemented to be able to make it practical and see that is done will help us to be able to participate more in the field. At the moment, one thing that is a pushback is culture and tradition, because women think that we are second class all the time. We don't practice our human rights and our potentials to be able to come up and participate and help in trying to build our nation into a better Fiji and a peaceful Fiji.
So again, coming back to capacity building and awareness for women of all diversities. Thank you very much, Mrs. Yavala, representing the Soqosoqo Vakamarama, Akesa Lewamotu, representing the Suva United Market Vendors Association, as well as Mereani Nawadra, representing the Communications and Overseas Department of the Methodist Church in Fiji, as well as Chandra Fisi'ahi, the Emerging Leaders Forum Alumni representative. And I'm Alisia Evans. Thank you for listening.